Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we have another humble bundle of interest to game developers. We haven't actually had one for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and this one here is for the musicians amongst us. Those in the audio world, you will appreciate this one, at least I hope. Now if you're a regular to this channel, you know I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to musical stuff, but I'll do my best as we get into it. Now this one is called the Mega Sound Designer Loop Crate, and it is pretty straightforward. It's a couple of applications, a couple of VSTs or virtual instruments, and 13,000 plus royalty-free loops and samples you can use in your own work from the companies Acoustica, Cherry Audio, and Soundtrack Loops. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. The files are formatted. They should work in Mixcraft, Acid, Logic, GarageBand, and Live, to name but a few. And Mixcraft was very much mentioned for a reason, because it is also included in this bundle. It is a DAW. I have zero experience with it. I'm going to be checking it out. Now, if you're new to the whole idea of Humble Bundle, basically it works like this. It's a collection of stuff, in this case loops, samples, and software for audio, around a common theme, audio. You decide how you want to buy it. You can buy it in various different tiers. You buy a higher dollar value tier, you get all the tiers below it. You also can decide how your money is allocated between charity, the producer, Humble, and if you so do, and thanks so much if you do, to support Game From Scratch. Alright, so we're going to jump in. $1 tier, what you're getting is a bunch of samples. We've got here the industrial underscore, the funky boom bap, the turntable scratch pack, and you can see down below what it is. So there's 42 scratch pad kind of style loops on that one, 293 loops in the club step, and then the KTRL EDM sounds, which is 52. So that is the $1 tier. So if you're already set up, if you got a DAW of choice, which by the way, there are a number of affordable and cheap DAWs, so even if you're at the $1 tier, you could potentially use this with something like Reaper or a free DAW. I've covered a handful of them on this channel already, but we also will get a DAW in this bundle if you go to the higher value tier. So we go a pretty substantial jump here. So we go from $1 to what's $25 Canadian, probably 20 bucks US. At this point in time, we get our first piece of software as well. This is the Minecraft. I'm going to do that over and over again, by the way. Mixcraft 8 Home Studio. Also includes 2,000 loops. This is a DAW, or digital audio workstation. Basically, it's a music composition program using a timeline. I've actually got the full version loaded up. We'll see that in just a second. But you get kind of this beginner level DAW. We'll get back to the details on this a little bit later on. At the $20-ish tier, might be 18. I don't know. We'll find out later on. This one also comes with the Modular Cinematics loops, Modular Cinematics 2 loops, Hip Hop Expression loops, Soul vocals, EDM vocals, and 8-bit EDM leads. And then we're going to jump up to the next tier, $32.86, which is probably $25 US. Here's where we get our first VST. Now, VSTs basically plug into most platforms out there, so they're DLLs that are virtual instruments, basically, that plug into DAWs, and it's a pretty standard format. Almost all of the DAWs out there support VSTs, and this one comes with a piano. On top of that, you get a voucher code for $20 off loops off of Soundtrack. Then we get mysterious intros, ambient space, industrial breaks, hybrid cinematics, universal hip-hop instrumentals, DJ puzzle, scratch, boom bap, techno noir, and then deep EDM. And then we go to the final tier, which is $39, which I don't even know what that would work out to American. A little bit over 30 bucks probably. Here's where you get the biggest version. So there's also a pro version, by the way. You're not getting that, but this is a current version. So you get Mixcraft 9 Recording Studio. The way I can best figure it out between the two, Mixcrafts. So you've got the Mixcraft here at this tier. This is kind of like a light version, and then this is more of hardcore. And I've actually got this guy installed. I don't have a clue how to use it, but I'll at least show you the interface. And we've got Voltage Modular Ignite. This is 45 modules for plugging in or extending your DAW. We've got a voucher code for Soundtrack loops, 40 bucks. Relentless Force, 80 loops there. Synth Fuel 1, I don't even want to say that word. Synth Fuel 2, Drones and Effects, Untrapped Hip Hop, Dark Trap, Soul Grooves, Dope Beats, Bass Goes Boom, Viva La Funk House, Analog House, and Hard House Anthems. If you're curious what the heck any of these things come down as, I downloaded Dope Beats, because of course I did, and it looks something like this. So it's a zip file. Not really sure what this one's all about. It's just kind of images. So the big thing that you're going to want to do is go into the loops directory, and here you can see a collection of loops. Pretty straightforward, just waveforms. The cool thing again is they loop, so when it begins and ends, it kind of is seamless. You can use them in music samples. Here is So there is one, or a little bit of one. Here is another. And there are quite literally, 17 or 18,000, 13,000. 13,000 of them in this pack, plus whatever you're getting bundled in. So this one's got 7,500 loops in it as well. Actually, no, I mentioned that 13,000 includes all the bundled in. So you want to check out, for example, a Mixcraft 9. And this is by no means at all a review, but here you can see it is a DAW. It is a DAW that I have literally zero experience with, but as you can see, I have installed it. You compose your music out of a number of different tracks. The cool thing with this one is it actually supports the video as well, which is a little bit rarer. So yeah, you got video tab right here. So if you're doing a music video or you're doing music to video or whatever, Mixcraft is your friend in that regard. Your tracks over here, your playback speeds can be varied. You kind of got a number of different instruments all kind of going together to create this. So again, I couldn't tell you straight out if this is a good DAW or not. I am not a musician, and I literally just downloaded and started playing with this thing. So I'm going to have to look into it with some more detail. But if I do find myself learning anything to the point where I can actually do a hands-on video with this before this Humble Bundle is over, I will do my best to do so. But now, as with all Humble Bundles, I purchased the bundle and let you know what you are getting. In this particular case, here you can see you get a number of pieces of software with redemption instructions. You head on over to the Mixcraft site, you put in your redemption code and your email address. They send you the download link or whatever. As you can see, I have redeemed Mixcraft 9's recording studio. That is obviously not my code. I had to edit that out. We've also got some vouchers, not vultures, voucher soundtracks as our codes for redemption on various different sites. And then you'll notice here we have all of the various different files that are here. They're straightforward. One of the ones I downloaded earlier on you saw in action. But one of the nice things that you're going to find with Humble Bundle, and I mentioned this in all Humble Bundle videos, let's go ahead and grab this guy right here, and you're going to notice their download speeds are speedy. So the nice thing is, there we go. So we just downloaded a 130 megabyte file from Humble. You can use Humble for storage for all of this. So if you're a little space constrained or whatever, you can go back and download things and re-download things as many times as you want from Humble servers. And the download speeds are pretty reasonable. But basically, it's a bunch of zip files. Inside of the zip files, generally, it's a bunch of WAV files that can be used in your audio and creations, etc. You may be wondering, okay, well, what's the license here? Now, it could change slightly, but on the one that I downloaded, here is what I got. This is a little ambiguous at the top stuff here, but the key part of it here is, as a licensed user, you're entitled to create your own original compositions with our royalty-free loops and samples. Audio, video, and web-based media productions are also acceptable. You may sell and distribute the media formed with this content royalty-free. You may not sell this content or distribute it in its original form. You may not upload them to another website as loops or samples. So basically what they are saying here is you can use these things and you can use them commercially. You just have to derive it. So you can't just sell the loops as loops, but if you use the loops in your YouTube video or soundtrack or whatever, that is perfectly fine, and you can make money off of that. So that is the license, at least on one. I don't think it varies too much between versions, just one of those things to be aware of. So again, we got a bunch of loops, pretty straightforward. So if you're an established musician, that is probably going to be the prize here. If you are an aspiring musician, so more in my boat, the two pieces of software that you're probably most interested in are Mixcraft and the Mixcraft Home or whatever it was called. Now, interestingly enough, if you go on over to the Mixcraft website at Acustica, you're not going to find the other version. It's just not documented here. But Mixcraft 9 is here. Again, it is the most current version. In terms of buying it, you will find that the retail price on it is $75 down from $99. So it's less than what half of the bundle is. The bundle is half of the overall price to just buy Mixcraft itself. There's this Pro Studio version. There's a breakdown of what the difference is. It's kind of beyond me to go through that, but there is another version up on it. But you are getting the most current version. Now, on top of that, Mixcraft 8 Home Studio, this is the easier kind of probably more geared towards me version out there. It is only available on Steam. This is basically a light version. It's also a little bit older, but as you'll see, it is $45 Canadian, so probably 35 $35 to $40 US kind of thing. So those are the two pieces of software that are included in this bundle, as well as the VST packages. And again, a ton of loops. And those are, yeah, it's kind of a pretty straightforward bundle in a way. Again, let me know if you're interested in a bit more of a hands-on video with Mixcraft. It's a little overwhelming when you first look at it, but frankly, all DAWs are daunting when you first look at them, but there's a commonality between them, and so it probably wouldn't be too hard for me to figure this one out. Let me know if you're interested in learning more about Mixcraft or you want a hands-on review. I could probably cover both versions. Or if you have experience with Mixcraft and you think it's wonderful or a complete piece of crap, let me know, comments down below. And yeah, that's it. What do you think of this bundle overall? Nice to see musicians getting a bit of love. Doesn't happen as much as often on this channel, so nice to see that from Humble. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.